Cast of Sesame Street in its second season, and also created memorable characters on, The Muppet Show, on Saturday Night Live, and on the animated series Doug, and many, many more. Her career has been illustrious and long. Her impact has been felt widely, and her talent, well, let's just say she is really something. Presenting the Lifetime Achievement Award, please join me in welcoming to the stage another remarkable performer, also an associate of the great Jim Henson, and the man behind my own favorite, that would be Gonzo the Great. Here is legendary puppeteer Dave Goelz.
Whoa, thank you. Thank you very much. Our friend and world-famous songwriter Paul Williams puts it this way: there's not a word yet for old friends who've just met. In 1973, soon after I joined Jim Henson's company, I was introduced to an enchanting woman in whose presence I instantly felt comfortable. Fran Brill had that magical effect on people. Maybe that's the word, the Brill thrill. Yeah, that's it, Paul. Anyway, like millions of other television viewers, I already knew Fran from her extraordinary work on Sesame Street as Prairie Dawn, a character who was both adorable and funny, very funny. And it didn't take me long to realize that those qualities weren't just Prairie's, they were also Fran's. And of course, Fran was much more than a great puppeteer. She was the first professional actor I had ever met. She appeared in television, film, and so many commercials, and her work has always been immaculate. My friends got used to me pointing at the TV and shouting, "Look, it's Fran Brill! I know her!" So let's check out some of what Fran has accomplished and hear from others who know her.
Hello, everyone, boys and girls. I want to welcome you and thank you for coming to see today's show.
Who is Fran Brill?
Frances Joan Brill.
She's an actress, first and foremost.
It's really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
She's a consummate professional. The first female puppeteer to ever be on Sesame Street and with the Muppets.
She was the first female to play females.
Welcome to Sesame Street.
She is a Muppet legend, stage, screen, television. Fran Brill can do it all.
Fran is just amazing, amazing.
I was an unemployed actress, just like everybody else, and I saw an ad in Backstage that Jim Henson was looking to hire puppeteers. So I thought it would be fun and a steady paycheck, so I said yes. And that's how I fell, really, into being the first female puppeteer on Sesame Street.
Hi, everybody. What you been doing?
Fran Brill was the voice of Little Bird for many years, and now does other female characters on the show.
The world's favorite 6-year-old entertainer, Miss Prairie Dawn.
Prairie Dawn was supposed to be this just quintessential little girl.
Well, I go to school, and I play the piano.
And Fran turned her into so much more than that.
Can we get this right, or we're going to be here all day?
The producers of Sesame Street called me up and they said, "We really want you to come up with a character that will be similar to Elmo," meaning that she would also be 3 years old.
No, don't joke me.
The head writer said, "Well, why don't we name her Franny?" And I said, "Well, I really don't want a puppet named after me." But I thought of the J.D. Salinger book, Franny and Zoe. So that's how Zoe became Zoe. Everybody liked that name.
Elmo, you can have all different kinds of friends, including rocks.
The fact that she adores Rocco and puts so much intention and focus in her make-believe. Like when she makes believe hard.
Yeah, Rocco says hello. Elmo didn't hear anything. Well, that's because you don't speak rock.
Prairie Dawn was her. Zoe was her. All of the Anything Muppets she played that were hilarious, one-offs. I mean, she had such a roster of different characters she could play.
Oh, how fabulous.
I mean, everyone that came afterwards owes her a great debt of gratitude.
She showed us all how to do it. She showed us it was possible to do it. She laid the path and said, "Here, you can do it too."
Fran created characters that will live forever.
She's a wonderful gift to us all.
I love you, Big Bird.
I love you, Zoe.
You've made all the difference in the world. To me, specifically, and to all of the women who have followed in your footsteps. Thank you.
Franny, your great character work and just being around you all those years with the Muppets made every performance with you a total joy. Thank you for all those times, and congratulations for this well-deserved honor. Love you.
Hello, Miss Fran. It's your old friend Elmo. Elmo heard you got a big award, so Elmo wanted to say congratulations. Yeah. Oh, and Rocco wanted to say something too. But he can't because he's just a rock. So, from all of your friends on Sesame Street, including Rocco, hooray! We love you!
Because Fran was so accomplished and confident, I always just assumed that she was older than I. But then about a decade ago, I learned that she's actually younger. In fact, these days, most people are younger than I am. But without a doubt, all of us are better off because Fran Brill has been a part of our lives and a part of our world. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome this year's recipient of the Children's and Family Lifetime Achievement Award. Look, it's Fran Brill. I know her. Come up here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you to the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences for this much appreciated honor. This award was so unexpected, which made it all the nicer. Over 40-something years, I had a job that involved precision, pressure, and the endless pursuit of perfection. Sounds difficult, right? Well, it was. However, I was surrounded by zany, hilarious, and very talented fellow puppeteers, charming human performers, and a crack production crew and a creative team that was to die for. But best of all, it was a family. And that's why I also loved being in the theater. Every play was like being a part of a new family. I'd like to first acknowledge the two people who shattered the accepted notion of what children's entertainment should look and sound like, Joan Gans Cooney and Lloyd Morissette. Yeah. The team they put together for that first show, which aired on November 10th, 1969, included John Stone, writer, director, and producer, Joe Raposa, composer and lyricist, Jeff Moss, composer and writer, and of course, Jim Henson, who brought the puppets. Almost immediately, Sesame Street became a sensation. There were articles everywhere about this wondrous new children's television show. And there were also those who disagreed. It's too busy, it's too loud. In 1970, people started to say, hey, where are the female characters? These characters are all male. Well, the guys used their falsettos to sound like females, which I thought was very funny. But it was also the time of the women's movement, and that affected almost everything in American society. Yeah, let's hear it for the women's movement. So a search began to find a female puppeteer. So Jim posted an ad in Backstage, a show business periodical, which I hope is still around, who knows, about a workshop to train wannabe puppeteers, and that he would pay them. Well, I needed the money, so I took the workshop, as did Richard Hunt, and after that, in 1971, I joined the original group of male puppeteers, which included Carol Spinney, Jerry Nelson, Frank Oz, and of course, Jim. One of my fondest memories during those many years was a day when we had a celebrity appearing on the show, and all the human performers, a handful of extras, and some folks from the office were on set. And we puppeteers were lying in a big heap on the floor as usual. And I looked around and I saw every ethnicity and race gathered to watch the shoot. And I thought to myself how wonderful it was that we were all together working to create the best show we could. And wouldn't it be wonderful if the rest of the world could get along like this? Yeah. Well, this job changed my life. For the first time, I could afford my own apartment. And for the next 40-some years, I was part of the most wonderful, fantastical family you could imagine on the longest street in the world. I feel very strongly that the mission statement of Sesame Street, to teach children to be stronger, kinder, and smarter, is needed today more than ever. I hope to continue to play well with others, spread the joy, and I thank you very much for this wonderful award.
I know her.